that people have made the hotline unusable.
Yeah. They
The, like,
created a voter fraud hotline, and people have been calling in like joke tips for it to the point where they can't even use
God. That's terrible.
I saw a post from someone who had called them and said, like, yeah, I'd love to help you steal the election. What do we do? And he's like, the Democrats are steal the election, and hung up.
Oh, hey, it's 7. Y'all ready to go live?
Yes.
Woo!
All right, I'm going to stop sharing this screen. I hope that the sound worked on that. And I'm going to cut to the our favorite little countdown thing. I'm still getting an echo. All right, let's do this. Hey, everybody. This is Sarah, and welcome to the Writer's Block with Sarah and Friends. This is Sarah. These are my friends. I'm irritated. I'm still getting an echo. I hope it's not too bad. So, yeah. It's been a month since y'all seen us. And it's been a month.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. I wonder if they caught a little bit of that, what we were just talking about prior to going live.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
About the hotline. The ballot fraud hotline. I honestly was thinking about calling too. It's like, you know what? I need to feel good about the things going on right now. Sure.
I was thinking of calling and saying, like, I was at TCF Center, and Mrs. Krabappel and Principal Skinner were in a closet, and they were making babies, and one of the babies fell out and looked at me.
They'd be like, thank you, Ralph.
I've been doing
Yes.
We had some really great conversations prior to the show, man. Why did I type out Novembers? It says no Verners. Some of y'all, a couple of y'all do not like Verners.
No Verners.
We got into your head, Sarah. We got into your head.
No Verners.
Oh, and now you gotta drink it.
Apparently it has
refreshing,
which
tastes good.
Gingery. What else we were talking about? Cemeteries. What's his name? James Verner.
James Verner. Yes.
James Verner. I got it right. And he's buried at Windmill Cemetery. So if you guys like cemeteries and you want to go for a drive, it's not only Aretha Franklin, but it's Woodmere Cemetery, James Verner. They had, I think, like Civil War vets there, like old ghosts. It's really cool. It's a nice. Well, we used to call it parks, and park almost came out my mouth. I was like, wait, let me go ahead and prep these people, because like park. I don't go to a picnic out there, but apparently people used to go to picnics out there in the cemeteries, and you know, picnic with their dead, with the deceased. You know, it's a form of honoring them. So, I used to work there, so yeah, it was a whole. We learned so much. It was such a good, and Claire worked too for a little bit.
Yeah, at Woodmere, we both did. Yeah, I had just moved to Michigan for the very first time and worked there for a couple of weeks. The pay structure available at the time was not going to be sustainable for me, which was a bummer, because I found out I really do like the industry. Like, I like helping and I like history, but yeah. Well, and then I had just moved to town and I had 250 business cards. Like, well, here you go.
I think I still have mine somewhere.
Oh, sorry. Years later, I would meet people around Detroit or encounter them, and they'd be like, "Oh, I met you when you just moved here, and you gave me a cemetery business card." I was confused, but I still have it.
So what's been going on with everyone else? Trevor, how are you?
I'm pretty darn good. Life has been crazy this past month, but other than that,
Dinah, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Insanity writing, as you know.
Yes.
Done some yeah, done some film and other stuff here and there, doing pretty good, trying to keep active, loving the warm weather. Enjoy it now, everybody.
Yes.
And doing all right.
Yeah, you've got a film, you said?
Mm-hmm. With Black and Brown Theater. Originally, it started off as a play. We were rehearsing it up until the lockdown in March, and then they were able to get a grant for funding, which allowed them to transform it over into a short film. It's
Nice.
called Heroes Within, and it deals with cyberbullying. It has a really strong, good message for about cyberbullying and how it should not be tolerated. And the saying they say it takes a village to raise a child. There really needs to be communication within that village. I
Yeah.
play the teacher, Miss Cole. So, yep.
Sweet. And where do we find this the video?
There is a YouTube link. I just got it. Thank you, Emilio. And I have been sharing it to my page and stuff. As soon as I'm able to straighten out logistics, I will let people know. But like I said, it's on YouTube. I think if you were to you could type in Heroes Within and it should come up.
Let's see.
And I can also share it to you guys here.
Yeah, I'll probably get it in the private chat before this YouTube pops up. Oh yeah, because I got all this stuff up right now. No, it's not Heroes Within 4. They're trying to make it a sequel.
That sounds like a video game. Yeah, YouTube.com. Heroes Within, a short film about cyberbullying. I think you probably have to type out the entire title of it.
Oh, I think I found it. But
yes, because my face is the picture that goes with it. I'm so sorry, but on the Facebook posting, it's my picture that is with the youtube.com posting. But yeah, we had a really good time filming it, and we gave as much as we could. I do believe that it is definitely a film that families want to watch together, because that was our original plan for it was to perform it in schools. For the kids, be like, hey, if you're going through this, let your parents know, let your teachers know, and teachers talk to parents, everybody talk to each other. So
I'm going to plug this in right now. Save and boom, right there. In case anybody wants to see the link, we'll be bringing the link back as well. But I see that we have 2 short plays by you this month. Oh my gosh. You've been busy. It's been great.
Well, trying. When it comes to lockdown and other stuff, when you're bored, it's like the ideas start coming and you're like, that might be an idea. Some is like, okay, that might be an idea. And some others are like, okay, that would be an idea, but I'm scared. But, but what I try to do, and this is something that I'd like to encourage anybody that's watching, and if they're wondering, for ideas on how to get started, if you've got an idea, write it down. Have like a little notebook or something, write it down. What the idea is. You don't have to worry about a title yet. Just be like for instance, Spaghetti Meatballs and the Marshalls, which is one of the plays that I wrote a few years ago. It's like, well, what would happen if a couple that's kind of like, 50s American apple pie, what if they were serial killers? You know,
Right.
that's basically the question. And then you figure out how to answer it. So a little notebook with a pencil is always a good idea. I say pencil because you can erase.
Yeah.
Pen might have too many scribbles.
I like that. Like, I like coming up with ideas. Like, if I hear a phrase that I like, or
Mm-hmm.
if somebody like has a news article. There was one that I wrote that I still haven't shared with y'all yet. Um, it was kind of like The Odd Couple, but not like it was some thing. I want to say it happened in Detroit, where there was a woman that was squatting in like the attic of this woman's place that she got, and the judge was pretty much telling them, "Well, you guys have to live together and sort it out." It's like, this kind of sounds like The Couple. Like, I want to write this out. How would this play out? So we had like a quick
that's
that one. It was kind of funny.
I want to see that one. When you're ready to share it, let me see that, because yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that was fun. I have to find it because like originally it was, I want to say like on a floppy disk or something. It wasn't that long ago, but it was like
the days.
archives and flash drive. Yeah, it was on a flash drive. I have to dig it out and share it with y'all. All right. Well, speaking of spaghetti meatballs and the Marshalls, why don't we start with that one first? Did you want to or talk about spaghetti meatballs first, and then we do game over after?
I can talk about spaghetti meatballs and the Marshalls first. This one, like I said, I wrote this actually a few years ago for when I was part of Wyandotte Community Theater in Wyandotte, Michigan. It was for like a 10-minute play series, and I kind of thought about it. And I'm like, well, like I said, what if, a couple that was like 50s American apple pie, just as sweet as can be, what if they on occasion indulged on the dark side? And, because we all have, I'm going to say it, you guys probably think I'm like crazy, but everybody has a dark side. It just all depends on how well you hide it.
Yeah.
A couple here, they on occasion they let it out and then they put it back in. Kind of like the purge.
Release.
Okay, so if everybody's ready, I would like to start with the opening stage directions. Okay. Spaghetti Meatballs and the Marshalls. Lights come up on a pleasant summer evening at the Camp Eagle Lake Campground. A group of friends, Sheila, Marcus, Kimberly, and Anton, are gathered around the campfire. They have just finished eating and are kicking back, preparing for the entertainment portion of the evening.
That was delicious. I tell you what, there's nothing like food cooked outdoors. See, this is why I love summer nights.
Yeah, good work on the food, Marcus. Who would have known you were such a gourmet chef?
The secret is not to burn the food. There's only Franken beans anyway.
Well, you did a great job. So, Sheila, did you bring your guitar? Camping trips and songs go together. It matches the fire.
No, it needs to be strong. Well, speaking of things that match the fire, stories match the fire too, That was the other thing we were going to do. So let's get in the storytelling circle. How do we want to do this? Reading a story to everyone or making up a story? I brought some books with me.
Oh, can I take a look at those books? Sheila hands books to Anton. He looks them over.
Reading stories is all right, but there's nothing like telling a story straight from the source. And we have a storytelling master right here. That's why I came on this camping trip, because I knew that she was going to have a good one. Kim, do you mind?
Cool. Come on, Kim. Give us a good one.
Marcus.
Hey, being a cool storyteller is nothing to be ashamed of. Think of it this way. When you're big and famous, we can all say we knew you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know how I like to research backgrounds on different places, right?
Mm-hmm.
I I
Yeah.
found some really cool information. Did you guys know that this campground is actually famous? Well, more like infamous.
What happened?
It was about 10 years ago in this campground that the Eagle Lake Massacre happened. It was a married couple, the Marshalls, camping out just like we are. It was their anniversary. They were having a great time, eating campfire food, singing songs, and enjoying a vacation that they hadn't had in a long time. There had been warnings on the news that there was some lurking out in the campgrounds here in Michigan, but they decided to go out there anyway because they weren't going to let someone scare them out of their rest and relaxation, and they weren't afraid in the slightest. Anyway, they decided to go on a short hike, and this place is known for its hiking trails.
That's definitely true.
It was the perfect night. The weather was on point, the stars glittered like diamonds, and the ground was smooth. They spotted another campfire in the distance. They decided to watch the people there for a while as it was an activity they both enjoyed. That's how they met, in fact. They'd been people watching at a summer jazz concert over 30 years ago. Anyway, they were watching a bunch of college guys having one last night of partying before school started again. Whooping, laughter, and of course, beer made their night. When the guys decided that they were going to wrap it up for the night, one of them put the fire out. And then they climbed into their sleeping bags because they wanted to sleep right under the stars. They watched them sleep for a while, and then they moved on to the next campground, which had young women with tents. The next campground was empty, but the one after that had a young couple sleeping under the stars like the college boys. In the morning, they packed up their gear and went on home. A day or so later, on the news, they listened to a report about how the campfire killer had struck again. Dead bodies found at Camp Eagle Lake where they had been. The bodies had been horribly slashed. One was nearly decapitated, another one disemboweled. As they sat in their living room and listened to the news report, Mrs. Marshall turned to Mr. Marshall and said, "You know, you didn't have to almost take the boy's head off." "He bit me," Mr. Marshall protested. "Well, I told you to do the slash move I taught you, but you just didn't want to listen. You didn't leave anything behind, did you?" "No," Mr. Marshall said. "Remember what I always say. If you want your escape nice, check things thrice." "Of course, dear," Mrs. Marshall said. "Oh, time to make dinner. How about I make my famous spaghetti and meatballs, dear?" "Perfect," Mr. Marshall said. "What campground should we go to next?" "Oh, there's one in Brighton that would be perfect," Mrs. Marshall said. With that, she disappears into the kitchen to make dinner, and Mr. Marshall changes the channel to watch movies. Just another night at the Marshalls.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, well, now we know why they weren't afraid.
Yeah, what's the perfect way to end a homicidal evening? Spaghetti and meatballs. A rustling is heard in the bushes. Everyone stops and listens for a moment. Marcus grabs the skillet, ready for battle. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Everyone is quiet, listening. When they don't hear any more sounds, they visibly relax. Marcus puts the skillet down.
Damn, Kim. The things you cook up in your head. I wouldn't want to get on your bad side, 'cause it's pitch black. Mrs. Stephen King.
Mhm. Kimberly King has a nice ring to it, but I think he's already married. Okay, who's got the next story? Anton, did you find a good one?
I don't know if I'm gonna find a book that matches the creepiness of that story. Maybe some Edgar Allan Poe. Hey, can you guys help me out? Let's look through these real quick. As they look through the books, a man and a woman enter, looking as if they're passing through. After about a minute, the group notices them.
Evening.
Evening. Hey.
Beautiful night, isn't it?
Lost my place. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, I'm sorry we disturbed you. We're just out for an evening stroll and we took the long way around. It's the perfect night for it.
And of course, we got so into enjoying this evening, we got a little lost trying to find our campground. Fortunately, this area has better light on the trail, so you should be okay.
Oh, thank you, but we're not lost now, are we, Kim?
Nope.
Kim, you should have told us you were inviting friends. We would have made more food.
I wanted it to be a surprise. I mean, I'm Mrs. King, remember? Sorry, allow me to introduce my Aunt Marielle and Uncle Scott.
Hello, everyone.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Would you like to join us for a little while? Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Kim, you said you wanted your aunt and uncle to be a surprise. Why is that?
Because they're not only my aunt and uncle, they're the campfire killers.
You're right, kid. Stop messing around. Oh, they all laugh. But while they're laughing, Mr. and Mrs. Marshall pull out knives. Kimberly stands, then takes out her knife. The other campers whose laughter has now died in their throats are rooted to their spots. They're too shocked to move, but their faces betray their fear. They look at Kimberly in shock.
Don't look so surprised. After all, my last name's Marshall, and as far as anyone knows, there's only one killer. May we have spaghetti and meatballs for dinner, Aunt Marielle? You know it's my favorite.
Of course. And thank you, Kim, for the tip that your friends would be here. Your uncle and I were looking for something to do for our anniversary.
Yes, but Kim, you have an apology to make. Neither your aunt nor I ever disemboweled anyone. That's a bit of a fib, isn't it, Kim?
Yes, Uncle Scott, I'm sorry. Decapitated, not disemboweled. Sorry, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But if I do it tonight, it won't be a fib anymore, right?
Well, I suppose.
Well, let's get this done, shall we? Scott, do you remember the move I taught you?
Yes, dear.
The lights suddenly go black. Sheila, Marcus, and Anton scream.
Ow! Why do they keep biting me?
The end.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
I had put together, I was going to do a blue pen for the knife and then a red pen for the bloody knife, and then I realized that trick was not needed. It's going to be like, stab! Oh my god, it's bloody! But yeah, it was not necessary. Very high-tech prop tradition continues.
Just imagine him sitting at home, still kind of bloody, eating. Miss Marshall's like, "Don't get blood on the table. What have I told you about that?"
Like chasing after people with a spray bottle.
It's like,
That needs to be the
this is
second
hard
act
to
of
get
this.
Well, if you're not going to decapitate them properly, you can do the laundry.
Right.
Right.
You know
No,
how
actually,
much baking soda we go through?
Yeah. Mr. Marshall would be like, "Well, honey, do you want one of their heads?" No, because if someone calls the police, that's too much. They might invade the house. No.
It's too much of a dad away.
But yep, that is spaghetti, meatballs, and the Marshalls. Thank you, everybody. Yay. And yep, like I said, that was what the idea that I had, and I remember, and I was actually picturing this in my mind, and I remember I'm giggling like a mad person. Like, I can see she's got an apron on and it's tied, and she's cooking, and he's watching. What got me was the fact that he was like, he's watching movies. No, he's watching the news, and he's like, click. And he was literally watching. I see him watching like the American Movie Channel, or like one of the, what's the other one? The one by Ted Turner. No,
Turner
that
Classic
isn't the one that
Movies?
Ted Turner.
TMC.
Yeah, that one. Turner Classic Movies, and he's watching something from like the 50s, because that my dad got me into like the classic old movies. So, so that's what I was thinking.
Nice. Leave It to Beaver. The Cleavers. The Cleavers always seem like a weird name anyway. It's like, okay, isn't that nice?
Cleaver.
I always wondered about them. It's like, well, what do they do? The kids go to bed. Like, do they commit murders? You answer that question.
Probably yes. They probably go, and I for some reason I picture Mr. and Mrs. Cleaver like they find someone like a bum out on his he's like on the street, and they're like, "Oh, we'll take you home and we'll feed you and give you a nice warm meal," and then one of them like disembowels him or something, and and then they bury him in the backyard, and she's like, "Ward, dear, don't forget to pack that dirt really tight." Yes, dear. So
don't go to Dinah's house alone at night. Tell someone where you are going to be and when you will get home.
Right. Yeah, I said be closer. Don't come to my house at night. Yeah.
Right.
That was almost hypnotizing. It makes me actually want to come to your house at night.
Yeah, now I'm like, ooh, don't tell me what's not to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd hear a knock on my door, bang and chirp answer. So, don't come to your house, huh? I'd be like,
I brought
okay.
spaghetti.
All right, that's right. I'm making spaghetti and meatballs. Oh, yep. Okay. All right. So, are we ready to do we want to jump right into game over, or do we want to have a little tay, or I'm mispronouncing that, but you know what I mean. I think it's called head to head. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I'm checking to see if we have any.
Yes, do we have peoples out there? Hello, people.
Hi, people.
I know part of me, I'm one of the counts, which is lost. You saw it too. I was like, no, don't talk to me. Oh my gosh, why am I still echoing? Everybody's good? Okay. Yeah, I don't think we have any questions from the audience. I guess we can move along to the next.
You just imagine, we don't need to ask any question to the crazy person. We don't want to know what's wrong with her. We're just going to move on. What's wrong with you people?
You said don't one time.
Okay, so if we're moving on, okay, now this one, like I said, in the 90s, and I think the channel was I want to say it was a CW, or it might have been the UPN at the time. There was a sitcom, whatever, but it was a show, and it was called Game Over, and it was literally like, it was based on a family that was part of a video game, and it was like, well, what happens after, they don't put the quarters in when it's game over, and that's kind of like that. That's what I was thinking. And I watched a lot of long play videos of classic games like Street Fighter and Final Fight and some other ones that I've never heard of, but they look cool. And I figured, well, why not?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I will probably, in terms of stage directions, I'll probably read some, but not all. It all depends. Like I said, I would read the stage directions that are like conducive to the action, but not every single one. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay, so oh, sorry, you guys ready? Sorry.
Yeah. Did y'all get the note, the last minute note that I'm playing Dalvine?
Yes. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Because I was like, oh man, she's gonna be talking by herself. Like, I'll just jump in.
No, I appreciate you.
Oh, and that was the other thing, guys. I literally finished this script at like 5 o'clock. We were getting close to time, but it was like my brain would not let me. It's like, no, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. I'm like, no, we're going to finish this. And that might be another thing as writers. There's a lot of swear words that we writers have when we're trying to get through stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so game over, or after the quarters wear off. We have our cast of people. Mandalore. He's a purple-skinned, half-demon, half-human fighter. Bulging muscles, loud battle cry. Headbutt combo. Orson. He's a bookish character, rather thin and timid-looking, but don't let the sweater vest fool you. He's got a devastating left hook combo. Hitasha. She packs an arsenal of weapons for her fighting skills, as well as a powerful kick machine gun combo. Kiyama. She is the sorceress of the group. Her combo involves a magical double that kicks your rear from behind while she herself hits you from the front. Dalvine, the final boss. Their combo is to fight you with words, literal words that hit for huge damage. They are also the fight scheduler for the characters. They're HR, if you will. So that's the introduction. We are in the world of Catastrophe Canyon, the latest hot fighter game. This is what happens after the quarters have been collected for the night. There is a large, ornately decorated room. In one corner, there is a time clock. In another, a cold soda machine. In the middle of the room, there is a cherry wood desk where Dalvine, the final boss, sits typing on a desktop computer. There is a large red leather couch over which Mondler is draped, loudly trying to slurp the last bits of his soda through a straw.
You have to do that.
Hey, when I like a drink, I like to get every last drop.
Yeah, well, please get the last drops quietly. I'm trying to schedule battles here.
You can't tell me what to do. I'll drink how I want.
Mandalore, do you really need to get that upset over it?
I am Mandalore. Feed me your fear.
Dalvine doesn't move. He just watches them, or they just watch him. Mandalore stops dead in his tracks. He tries to stare Dalvine down and fails. He scratches his rear, then goes over to the soda machine, gets another soda, but not before belching a small fireball.
Pardon.
Hey, watch where you're burping. Just replace the last machine because of you.
In comes Hitasha, dressed in a spaghetti-strapped catsuit with strategic rips and weapons strapped to her legs and wrapped around her upper body. She wears brown leather gloves. Her long hair ripples in an invisible breeze and shimmers a deep blue-green. Her eyes blaze aggressively, but soften when she sees Mandalore. She takes off her weapons and sighs in relief.
Finally, game over. Monty, baby, could you please give me a back rub, honey? These weapons did me something terrible. Oh, thank you, baby. You're the best.
Anything for you, my love.
Kiyama soon enters, floating in on a white cloud. Her hair is a short pixie cut, auburn in color. Her garments shimmer and billow around her as she enters the room, full of magic energy. She notices Hitasha and Mandalore.
Looks like you were the fighter of the day, Hitasha. How many times did your life story get played? Speaking of which, Dal, can you please schedule me so I can get some attention?
Kiyama, you know it doesn't work like that. It's the computer that gives the schedule's algorithm.
But I'm magic. There's no reason why this shimmer should be wasted. Besides, I know that you can manipulate it, so get to manipulating. I want people to know about the life story of the true heart of this game.
This again?
Yes, this again. I'm lucky if I get 1, 2 plays a day, but Hitasha and Mandalore always getting the fight schedule used. Then I'm constantly knocked out, and the players end up looking at me bruised and battered face after the fight, instead of all this magnificence. I don't want to be remembered like that. I want to be the hero for once.
Types, waits a few seconds, and then what sounds like a rejection sound comes from the computer. So,
Sorry, Kiyama, the computer won't switch. According to this, Mandalore and Hitasha are the most popular. It all depends on what the players want. You know how it changes. I think there might be a way around it, though.
Yes, the power couple. You know, Mandalore and I dated before you came along. Everything was going nicely until he saw you and your guns.
Actually, after you cheated on me with Orson, it was pretty much over.
Whatever, you overreacted. I was willing to forgive you for that. But you decided you couldn't let the past stay in the past. So then you ran to that. But you could make a fresh start with someone who could cast a spell where you'd never stop feeling pleasure. Don't you remember those nights, Mandy? My combos always made for a great night.
Kiyama, did you forget we are married?
Hitasha takes her glove off her left hand and shows Ring with a really nice stone.
If you're so lonely, why don't you cast a spell that gets you a partner? Better yet, you know that Orson still loves you, go to him.
Enter Orson, who wears an argyle sweater vest, dark green pants, and Oxford shoes. He looks for all the world like someone who runs a library. He enters so quietly the others don't see him at first. He watches the conversation. Kiyama begins to shimmer again and glow.
I don't want Orson. He's good for a once in a while thrill, but you're the one I deserve. I challenge you, Hitasha. Winner gets Mandalore.
Kiyama makes a huge show of her magical powers, getting totally ramped up. Hitasha, however, simply takes off one of her guns and shoots Kiyama with a large ray. Kiyama screams and disintegrates.
Oh, damn it! Hitachi just messed up the algorithm. Now I have to rewrite her. Oh, please. You know, you are all thinking the same thing.
When I get my body back, Hitasha, you're so dead.
Sparkle, sparkle, Kiki. I'll be waiting and not giving any type of damn.
You know I hate being Kiki.
Orson, How many times have we asked you not to sneak in like that?
Oh, once in a while, thrill? That's what I'm good for? That scheming, sequin, sparkling.
Sorceress you can't get enough of.
Shut up, Mandalore! I need a drink. Who wants to join me for Catastrophe Vodka? They're about to unplug the games for the night, so we need to get a move on. Countdown has started.
The booming artificial voice starts a countdown from 30 seconds, then fades out.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, let's hit the bar. I'll print the new schedules in the morning. Here are the final boss.
Thank you for playing. Game over. Dan.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Woohoo!
Whoop.
Thanks, guys.
That was really fun.
Whole sign over. I need to get on it. Everybody does like spaghetti meatballs still going. It's like, no, we're reading. We just got done with the second one. I knew there was something I was supposed to do.
Like I said, that's the first draft. I know, like Orson, you really don't know that much about Orson, and if I had had more time, I would have really written stuff between him and Kiyama. But for the sake of being brief and wanting to get it in, I just, I did that real fast. But that was basically the idea. What happens after the game ends? And actually, one of the original endings I had, I was going to have the game unplug, and it would go shoom, and all the characters would go, they would fall out of frame because the game shut off. But I'm like, no, just have to go to the bar.
Just like I like how you just sort of turned it into like a normal blase like workplace thing where you're like, yeah, okay, see you guys across the street. Cool.
Right. I'll just do this tomorrow.
Yep. I mean, and Hitachi and Mandalore are married. The humanoid married the half demon, half human. So
yes.
There was a lot of romantic intrigue for a workplace.
True. Yeah.
Boss was cool.
Yeah.
HR.
Maybe it's service industry or something.
I thought about that, like especially watching, I think it was Street Fighter. I'm like, okay, now what would it be if like Chun-Li and, well, not Bison, but like Chun-Li and like Guile were boyfriend and girlfriend, or or even what if, well, I know if you ever watched if you ever played like Ken's gameplay through Street Fighter, he actually has a girlfriend and they get married at the end of his thing if he wins everything. But like, what if Ryu and Ken were a couple? It could have been. And then when I wrote Dalveen, I kind of had in mind, okay, you know what? I'm going to make them non-binary. So I had they, them, so that was, that's what I was thinking when I wrote it, and had fun doing it, even though it drove me nuts. But I was able to get it. So.
That's also so much cleaner and more coherent than any first draft I've ever written. So congratulations.
Yeah, you had us like prep
Thanks.
for that one, and I was like, okay, this will, like Dinah stuff is always fun, and we'll roll with it. But it's like, oh no, this is really good. It's like established characters. It has like this dynamic. I have like a clear picture of who I'm supposed to be. I have like physical, yeah.
Actually,
like, it's fun.
what's funny?
Yeah.
There is a game called, I think it's called Vampire Savior, and Kiyama was based off of one of the characters. What was her name? Oh my god! But I just know her costume is like really high cut, and her fight thing is she splits and she becomes a double and she beats you up from both sides. So that's when I had Kiyama, and the name Kiyama actually. You know how in your writing program, if your computer doesn't if it doesn't recognize it, it redlines it. the original name was supposed to be Kimaya. It didn't like Kimaya, but it liked Kiyama. So I said, I like that. Kiyama, there you go. And Kiyama's just, she needed to be punched in the face. That's why when, she was doing all that, and I thought about, I think it was which I think it was Lost Ark. No, actually not Lost Ark. The second one where the guy had the Kopesh and he's doing all of this, and then Harrison Ford just shoots him, and I'm like, yeah, right there.
Lost Ark is the other one.
And then, no, yeah. It's Last Crusade. I think Last Crusade, and that's bad because my dad took me. That was
Temple
his man,
of Doom?
and he took me to all that. Yeah, that's it. I think it was Temple of Doom, that one. Because the guy with the Kopesh, he was their fighter, their warrior. He was the badass. And he's like, he swing. He was like, he just shot him. And the reason he did that was because he was sick. He was not up to, he didn't feel good, and he could not do a whole fight scene. So I guess Steven told him, just shoot him. Because when he did that, the entire theater, I remember because it came out, I went to see it when it was new. The entire theater, we just cracked up. Like,
So, yep. He was sick. I think it was just.
Yeah, he had something wrong with him. I found out, Jimmy told me, he was like, you know why that happened? Because he had food poisoning or something the night before, and so he wasn't feeling good. So he was supposed to fight the guy, like a whole fight scene. And he was like, so he just, I guess Steven was like, just shoot him.
That's amazing. My dad is like a big like action movie nerd, and he's lovingly described that scene to me much times, but I don't think he knows why, so I'll have to tell him the backstory.
Oh my god, my dad loves Harrison Ford. That was his guy, and like every time Indiana Jones came out, I saw all three, but I always remember that scene and the scene where they had the feast and like the chilled monkey brains. And the one where they cut the snake open and all that, and Kate Capshaw's like, for dessert, chilled monkey brains, and she just like passes out. I'm like, yeah, chilled monkey brain. I'd be like, nope, no, thank you, no, thank you. I'm not hungry. Thank you. Nope.
Had a Slurpee on the way over here.
All right, I'm not eating that. But yep, when Hitachi shot Kiyama, I'm like, yeah, she's doing all of this and she's getting ready, and she's like, nope.
I mean, what other response can you have for someone being like, let's fight for your man? Like, no, like, we're not doing that today.
No, we're not doing that, because first of all, and I had, instead of Hitachi stepping up, the woman to woman, I wanted to have the man be like, okay, we're married. What are you doing? Go away. And don't you have a man? Why don't you go? And I don't want him. Like, people. Because there are people that will do that. Even if you tell them, look, I'm married or I have somebody, they'll be like, oh, would I be better than, like.
Oh my gosh, I just realized, oh shoot, I'm an improviser. I'm using the wrong gun. It's been so long, like, I'm using the wrong gun.
Oh no.
The rest of my
Now that she takes off this gun. Oh, I'm gonna use. Oh wait, no. This is the one.
I still, like, it has been years since I had an improv class from Again, but I still have this stuff, like, play in my head, because if anyone does, like, he's, like, the object work stickler, so if anyone does the, like, scissors, or, like, there's a couple things that if anyone does it, he will stop the whole class and be like, everyone show me a gun. We have to, like, hold it. Show me scissors.
Oh.
Show me a phone.
Oh, so like cell phone or holding them. Okay.
So that we're not like this or like this, but like I'm holding the scissors. I'm holding the phone. That still like
makes
plays
sense.
in my head
I
sometimes. Like
will remember this for next week. Yeah. Well, yeah,
I
because
was
you put your fingers in the scissor loops, and yeah, makes sense.
I was in a troupe where one of our like routine bits that we did every show basically was someone did guns and they did them like this. And that troupe got me into the bad habit of just thinking like this is a gun.
Yep. How to hold a gun, how to hold a phone. That makes sense because you pick it up. Hello, hello, or you swipe. Hello.
I
Yeah.
actually pick my phone up like this, just so you're aware.
Wait, no, I can't even do that. My phone is too big. I can't do that. That's terrible. I can't do cannot do that. My phone is too big. I have to pick it up like this. Hello. Yep, that's how I'm picking up my phone, just like that. Hello. I cannot do that. So do we have any questions or anything out there tonight?
I don't see questions, but I see Sue Durso is watching. Hi, Sue. I think that's why people don't come in the chat because it's like
We say
called out. Welcome to our live stream. But I do not see any questions for the evening.
Okay.
Yeah, I like these both though. I'd like to see more with Game Over. I want to know what's going on with poor Orson. That's always in the shadows somehow.
That one was a lot of fun. I was and just trying to picture like Orson being like a nebbish at a superhero at the same time, like super accountant.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
Like technically, I played with the idea of making Orson the final boss. I'm not sure why I didn't, because it would have really made sense. I mean, you look at this bookish guy and you think, first he'll be easy to beat, and then he, kicks your butt with his combo, and it's like, whoops.
He's like, hold on, page 37.
Right?
He feels more like the very first boss you fight in the game. Like, he's not like there yet, and he's like your boss you fight to train and learn how to play.
Yeah, like the first boss where he like, in the fight, like he throws books at you or whatever, or he throws like protractors or whatever, and he's like, hee.
And then it's like surprised when it doesn't work. Woo!
Right? Like, huh? What? So yeah, like I said, I watch a lot of long play videos of video games. I'm very sad. That's what I do. And there was one on Virtua Fighter, or no, like one version of Street Fighter that I don't remember from years ago. And it's a doctor character, and he fights while lying on the ground. That's what he does. He does not stand up. Like, he'll stand up for a second and then he falls right back down. It's like, what are you doing? And I'm watching him. He's rolling around on the floor, and I'm just like, why? Okay. I don't know. But yeah, because I've never seen a character do that. I've never seen a character. Hi, kitty. I've never seen a character roll around on the ground.
Interject. Sorry.
Oh, I got kitty side eye. I'm good. Kitty side eye, like, what are you talking about? But kitty side eye. That's okay. But yeah, I'd never seen a character roll around on the ground like that. And I'm waiting. I'm like, are you gonna stand up? And he doesn't do it. And it's like it won't feel like that's what he takes. He takes like a thing he smells. He's like, and then he falls out on the ground. I'm like, this one. He's over here getting high, really? So I'm just like, okay.
Timey doctors.
Yeah, he was like, "Yay!" Boom, and I'm just like, okay, okay. I don't know what this is, but he was. I think he's only in one version of Street Fighter. Like his character was so crappy. They were like, please don't bring him back. Please send him away. Never brought him back. I'm like, okay. But oh yeah, there will be more with Game Over and Orson and Dalveen and probably one more with Mandalore and which I don't know if you noticed. I kept telling myself to stop spelling it MAN. It's supposed to be MOND. I'm like, why can I not spell this right? But because my brain's like, it should be Mandalore. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. It's Mandalore. I don't care what you want. So yes, I fight myself when I write.
I forget the spelling of my characters' names. It's like I'll come back to one play and it'll be like, oh, I thought it was Deanna, not Dion. It's just little tiny things. It's like, and then go back and forth between them, and then it all just is inconsistent throughout the script. Having to control.
Oh yeah, I do that. There was actually a line in the script, the Game Over script, I forgot to take out. Like the line about the power couple. I was like, oh crap, that was whoops. Okay, it made sense. That works. Okay. I was supposed to take that line out and I forgot. But it works. It worked. Yep. So thank you guys. You made my day. Yay!
It was fun.
Thank you for writing.
And if anybody wants to watch this film that she's in, then you can watch his Heroes Within by Black and Brown Theater. It's on YouTube. Links down below. If you can't find a link that way, just look for Black and Brown Theater's YouTube page and find Heroes Within and be able to watch it.
Yes. Plugging for Black and Brown Theater because it has a powerful message and we really would love for everybody to see it and even open up a discussion among your family, among your friends, among, teachers, you guys too. Everybody.
Yes. As we definitely
shout out to Amelia Black Brown.
We've needed this whole time, but yeah, we need it now too, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I go to that YouTube, our Facebook page when I thought that I was just streaming the video. But that was us talking about great call from that. Yeah. We do need that. We do need
that. Okay, I'm gonna need someone to write a play about Vernors. Write a play about Vernors and versus other ginger ales.
I'll write it, and everybody's gonna be drinking Vernors.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll leave. I will drink the Vernors. I will have the Vernors. Like, yep.
Let's see if we can get a sponsorship.
Sponsorship would be great.
Yes.
If you're listening.
Yes.
We would like to have some sponsorship.
What? Did you ever see that Facebook meme about? I think it's like a sick day in Michigan. There's like the couch, the soup with the Vernors, and the Price is Right. I'm like, okay, you got everything except. I was like, I'll take out that Vernors and put in a Schweppes, and you got that was like the New York sick day.
Oh man.
Oh wait, no. They gotta add. Okay, instead of Price is Right, you gotta put in Young and the Restless because my mother was a big soap opera fan, and so that was like the first soap opera that came on.
Oh, we were watching both. It was Young and Restless. It was a little bit of Days of Our Lives. All My Children.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's one more. General Hospital.
Yep, that one. And Let There Be a Wedding. The entire family had to watch the soap opera Wedding.
Or the fashion shows.
Oh,
Yep.
Fashion shows and a soap opera. I don't know why. It's just very important content.
Sue just said, just made a donation to Black and Brown Theater. Thank you so much, Sue.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Good. Awesome.
All
Awesome.
right,
And
all
my cat
right.
is getting the zoomies from me clapping.
Aw,
It's just like jumping
come on,
around.
kitty.
It's like,
It's
yes, you
like,
made a
oh,
good
Aw,
decision.
we're doing stuff now. Let's do
yay!
stuff.
Right.
Yay! Aw.
Yeah. That's good. Good.
And we
Awesome.
like to
Awesome.
shout out to all kitties and all doggies and all animals.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the new first dogs coming.
Yay! Yes,
Yay.
Major, and I don't know what your doggy sibling's name is, Major, but them too.
Yeah, Major and Champ, I think.
Champ? Okay. Well, welcome to the White House. Be good dogs. Don't chew the furniture.
Please don't shoot a fridge. Please don't be on the
Don't be on it. Well, see, like if they had cats, I would tell them, I'm like, don't act like my cat. Don't fight. And don't be meowing at like 4:00 in the morning talking about because that's my 15-year-old cat Raiden does that, and I'm like, I have like one eye open. I'm like, Raiden, do I have to come out there? Okay.
I know. Mine did a thirsty meow at like 7 a.m. I think, well, she has no concept of daylight savings. So
Oh well, no.
she thinks I'm supposed to get up at 8, 9
Yeah.
o'clock. But she's waking me up at 7. So it's
Mhm.
like,
Oh,
no. We
Yep.
sleep.
it's
Dying.
daylight savings hasn't been as hard with the cat adjustment since I just have the one now, like since Swan Pass, because I used to have 3, then I had 2, now I have 1. That's how it works. My babies.
Mm.
But they
Aw.
I raised them together from when they were really little, so they're like very united. And so like anytime that they agreed on something that I didn't agree on, it was like they unionized against me. Like, it is 9:30 now. And I'm like, no, it's 9:30 in an hour. They're like, it is 9:30.
Yeah.
It's 9:30. And so now she no longer is represented by a union, much like Uber passing Prop 22. I am
No kidding,
determining her
union.
kids.
Aw.
She gets fed early sometimes anyway. Like she's 15, she's got a lot of health stuff, so basically if she asks for something, she gets it. But we still have to pretend to have like one rule sometimes.
Yeah.
So I can feel in control.
Oh, my cat are the same age. Aw.
Yay, seniors.
Senior. I got senior side eye. I'm good. She looked at the camera like, what the hell? What do you want? Okay, I'm out.
I love this senior pet meme that's been going around TikTok using the audio that's like, you can't get rid of me, bitch. I ain't going no fucking where. While like text shows on the screen saying all the issues the pet. Like there was one that was like, this cat will only eat cooked chicken, and he screams for cooked chicken at 3 a.m. And the cat's just standing there like, like, what a legend, honestly.
Man.
Yep. Kitty legends. Yep. Okay, and then we have to have a play about cats. And Trevor gets to play the cat.
Yay.
Finally, someone has realized my true calling.
Yeah.
I should have been
You
in the
played the
movie,
very
guys.
good
I would have saved the movie.
Me and Sarah saw that on Christmas.
Yes.
What'd you think?
Gosh.
It was really funny.
It was
I need
hysterical.
to see that. I'll have to see that just from a campy, because I figure it'll get a cult following. That's what's gonna happen. I mean, usually movies that are kind of like, huh? Why did they make this? It gets a cult following. Like Rocky Horror Picture Show, when it came out in '75, it was actually considered a flop. But it was so it brought out people, and they checked it out, and they were like, hey, we want to wear fishnets too. So now it's a 45-year-old camp classic.
Yeah, that sounds like Cats. Like people were watching it, they were like, "You gotta watch it with friends. Like it's so weird. You just have to watch it. I can't tell you what happened." And then we watched it, like, "Oh my gosh, this is so awful, but it's so great."
Mm-hmm.
I never think of Idris Elba the same way.
Right. Yeah, now see, I remember when Cats was big on Broadway in the '80s. You know, they had the Cats, the Cats commercials, and they were like, I can't remember what the slogan was, but Cats was on Broadway, and so when they were like, we're gonna make a movie, I'm like, okay, I can see that, eh. And then they did the CGI, and it was like, what the? And they're like, why? What? Okay, I'm scared. I don't know. I'm not sure.
There's like one number where like Rebel Wilson is constantly like changing scale in relation to other objects.
It is.
It's just like she takes her like skin off at one point. And then my favorite was Sir Ian McKellen felt like he had received like was just working with an entirely different set of notes than everyone else.
Yes.
Like, other people were doing the sort of weird, like, hey, Cats musical, ooh, wink. And he was just kind of like lapping water from a bowl, chilling out. Like, he was trying to act like a real cat.
His ears, like, really into it.
It's like, he's Sir Ian McKellen.
Hey,
what's anybody going to tell him?
Method, baby. Method acting. That's how you do it. I mean, everything except the litter box. You gotta live and people will be like, no, include the litter box. No, you.
That the litter boxes were in the first week. They CGI'd those out.
I'm sure they did.
We crossed the line.
Oh, the director would be like, no, you gotta dig. You gotta dig it and make a mess, because that's the only way you can really get it all out there. Make them sweep it up. Make them sweep it up, and then, because that is what happens. You get it, you change the litter box, it's all nice and clean. Here comes your cat. And you're just like...
And they're like, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. Poor Trevor. He's like they're up there talking about cats. I'm gonna wait. Wait till they're done talking about cats.
I'm actually allergic, so I've never really experienced it.
Aww.
You could get a Sphinx. With a hairless.
Hey.
A friend of mine
that's right.
has,
A Sphinx.
Right, my friend Sarah Jones they have, I think one of them, they had 2 Sphinxes. Her boyfriend, before they moved in together, he had one. Then he got a second one, but he didn't tell her. And she just comes over and he sets the food down, and there comes one, and then an identical one comes out, and they're both eating, and she's like, "You see this too, right?" Like.
Yep, I have a there's a Facebook page that I follow. It's Murphy. Oh my god, the cat's name is Murphy, but it's like Murphy the something. I can't remember the rhyme, but he's a Sphinx, and he has something wrong with him where he has like one crumpled ear and one regular, one normal ear. But he is he's a really good cat. They put shirts on him and everything, and he's just cat.
They got that other one too, Nudicrous.
Nudicrous.
He has all these clothes. It's just so funny. Yeah, I like them. They seem like they would be pretty good. They're sweet. They just need more sweaters.
Yeah. Actually, and they will suggest though, like if you like cats but you're allergic, get a Sphinx. Because no hair, or I think one of the lower hair, like I think Abyssinian or Bengal. One I think Abyssinian was like the other one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there are low dander kitties.
Yeah, sharing our cat fun. Get a Sphinx.
Like cats and birdies. I like birdies.
I like dogs, but I know I'm definitely don't have the lifestyle for a dog. Well, I do now, but
Yeah, I like dogs too.
previously, yeah, it's a lot.
I like,
Yep, doggies are. My husband wanted a Newfoundland.
Walking someone else's for a few days and then going back to not being in charge.
Oh.
Doggy. Yep, and my husband wanted a Newfoundland. He wanted a Newfoundland dog. I'm like, oh, so you want a dog you can ride to work? He's like, yeah.
That would rule. Now that's green transportation.
Yes.
Yeah. The car broke down. I'm just gonna ride the Newfoundland. Okay. But yep.
Yep.
Hey, where'd everybody go? Uh-oh.
I think it might be about that time to wrap up, guys.
Yeah, we might be about to. All right, so yeah, that concludes for this month. Hey, if you want to write, that was just in time. We just lost Dinah. The Writer's Block 2020 at gmail.com if you want to submit your pieces. We might be changing formats starting next month. We'll see how it goes. I've been doing a few things. As you know, obviously our theater community has been hurting, and holiday season's coming up. So yeah, usually a lot of holiday shows would happen around now. Like we would have other places that serve drinks, like such as Ghostlight or Go Comedy, or I believe Detroit Repertory Theater as well. So we're going to try to do some things and raise some funds for local theaters and try to get some things going for them in the upcoming months. Because, yeah, winter's coming, and I don't think we're all going to be packed in theaters anytime soon. So, yeah. But if you still want to submit your pieces, feel free to send them. Writer's Block. We would love to have you. It would be great. And with that said, I guess that is the end of the night.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.